Hello and welcome to the first in our periodic table series, the periodic table and introduction. This video introduces you to what the periodic table is and the elements that make it up. There are some follow-up videos in this series which focus on four particular elements: helium, carbon, gold and uranium. What is the periodic table? The periodic table is a chart of all the known elements, of which there are 118 at the moment, that make up the universe. It has a characteristic shape and contains lots of letters and numbers. Each square in the table represents an element. In the middle of the square is a chemical symbol for that element, so for helium it is He. Underneath the chemical symbol is the full name of the element, because sometimes its name is very different to its symbol. For example, the chemical symbol for gold is Au, which is taken from the Latin name for gold, Aureum. So what is an element? An element is a substance that is made up of the same type of atom. So the element carbon is made up of carbon atoms, and the element oxygen is made up of oxygen atoms. Elements can be put together to make compounds. So when a carbon atom is joined with two oxygen atoms, it makes the compound carbon dioxide. But what are atoms? Everything is made up of atoms, including you. Atoms are tiny particles that are too small to be seen even with a microscope. Although atoms are tiny, they are made up of even smaller particles: protons, neutrons and electrons. There is a nucleus in the centre of the atom, which is made up of neutrons and protons. Circling around the nucleus in an orbit, a bit like the moon travels around the Earth, are electrons. The number of protons, neutrons and electrons that an atom has and how they are organised is what determines the type of atom it is. The element helium, which we use to fill up floating balloons, is made up of helium atoms. The element carbon, which we find in coal, is made up of carbon atoms. What makes the helium atoms different from the carbon atoms is the number of protons, neutrons and electrons. While a helium atom has 2 electrons moving around a nucleus made up of 2 protons and 2 neutrons, carbon atoms have 6 electrons moving around a nucleus of 6 protons and 6 neutrons. If we look back at the periodic table, we can see numbers in it. In each square on the table is the atomic number. In this table, it's the number on the top left. This is the number of protons found in the nucleus of that atom. The other number, which in this table is in the top right corner, is the atomic mass. This is the mass of the atom, and it's approximately the same as the number of protons plus the number of neutrons in an atom. It was a Russian scientist called Dmitry Mendeleev who produced one of the first practical periodic tables in the 19th century. Although the modern periodic table contains even more elements than the original one did, as new ones have been discovered, it is still closely based on his ideas, which are: the elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. The rows are called periods. The columns are called groups. Elements in the same group are similar to each other and have similar chemical properties. Indeed, the periodic table is called the periodic table because elements with similar properties occur at regular or periodic intervals. There is a helpful song all about the elements in the periodic table and what we use these elements for. If you want to give it a listen, then pause this video to watch it. You can find it by typing in the web link given or search YouTube for the Periodic Table Song 2018 Update by ASAP Science. So let's make some atoms. You can make some model atoms using a paper plate and a cupcake case and 3 different types or colours of things to use as protons, neutrons and electrons, such as sweets or beads. First, stick the cupcake case to the centre of a paper plate. Then put in the correct number of protons and neutrons into the cupcake case for your atom. Then put the correct number of electrons on the plate outside of the cupcake case. Here are some to try building. Helium has 2 of each particle, carbon has 6 of each, and oxygen has 8 of each. You can also do a Minecraft build. You can build some model atoms. It will probably be easier if you try to build the atoms of elements with smaller atomic numbers, because that means you have less electrons, neutrons, and protons to build. However, if you saw an element in the video you'd prefer to build, then research how many protons, neutrons, and electrons it has and build it. Or maybe you could build a symbol of an element. Or you could even build a whole shape of the periodic table with different colours to represent different groups, like the one shown here. Good luck!